if you have never seen Yu-Gi-Oh! The Falsebound Kingdom before, this is going to be an interesting one for you, because this is quite a fascinating piece of, at this point, retro hardware. I do apologize about the model. I don't know why mouth is still being weird. But yeah, like, this is a fun one. This is like old fucking Nintendo. I mean, old is relative, obviously. So I figured that in the name of it, I have a save state on here. I can't remember if I have. Yeah, I do have a save state on here. I figure we would start off from a random place. Just you know, look through this, because I think I was doing a New Game Plus run of this. But let's see what's happening here, see what's going on here. And let's get into it, because this is, if you've never played this game, if you've never played it, it really is a fascinating game. It's actually right. No, we're having to. There's just so many. We're aware of the ad situations. There's only so much we can do. It is very well defended. It kind of plays like a little bit like a VN kind of. The closest game that I have to this is like what, Monster Rancher, I think. We go icon mode. Maybe. So this is one of those that like you kind of like control your units in such an interesting way. And you kind of have a little bit of a tack map, right? So you can see your own people. Like, so all my own allies are here. And then you have caricatures. You have, you know, obviously enemy units. And you can actually see where they are. And then you can, oh, well, I'm going to focus on this. So you can see that they're coming this way. And then obviously you have your win and loss conditions, etc. It's just, it's an interesting game. And I've never really seen too many people talk about it. Good boy, thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's... So then obviously you have, you know, monsters you've seen time and time again, right? You got fucking slot machine. You got imagery of, like, you know, Millennium items and stuff. It's super cool. Thank you for the 2 gifted subs, good boy. I appreciate that. And then obviously you're gonna... So, for example, using Dark Magician, you're able to, like, expend the stars, like, the levels, to actually do certain actions. So, like, the special action is targets all through it. It's very interesting if you've never played it. It's super retro at this point. Let's put it that way. It is very, very retro. Because, I mean, I think, did Xbox have this? I know PlayStation, I think PS2 had this. But it is a very interesting game. I know I keep saying that. Like, the premise is sound. Like, you'd think this is a shitpost, right? You'd think this is a shitpost. But it's not. And that's the weird part, is that you're like, this isn't gonna work. But it kind of does work. PS2 did have it. Okay. And obviously, I mean, with leveled up creatures and stuff, obviously this takes on a little bit of a different, you know, form. I don't know if it's a speed tier or not specifically. But as you can see, I mean, like, you have some sort of priority turn structure. Let me turn this down a little bit for you guys. That should be a little bit better, too. I don't know how loud it's going to be in comparison. Oh, wow, they actually did that. Okay, and then, see, you can, with the right team comp, like, I can juggle between, I almost said, yeah, it's DMOC, right? I can do DMOC and then do Dark Magician with Dark Magician Girl in the center, and we can just juggle the specials. So it's actually, if this came out today in like a different game, or if like Konami did a remaster, I'd fucking do this. I'd play this all day. Why did that not change? Yeah, they, for real, have a Yu-Gi-Oh! turn-based game. They do. And it's incredibly underappreciated. It really is. And obviously you can see, like, oh, there's one person occupying that city. You have to have one person in the city to occupy it. If you lose specific party members, you'll just lose it. the other is you can also upgrade like equipment and stuff. So like you can buy up to, my fat head's kind of covering it, but like, so if I yeah, it is real time. You can pause it, but it is real time. And you can buy things like a healer. You can buy other things. You can have specific fusion monsters, like we have Meteor Dragon, right? And it's you can also have like Blue Eyes Ultimate out and stuff like that. It's super niche and neat. And obviously, then comes this. Okay, who's got the most actions, right? Who do we want to attack, right? Okay, it's just a turn-based. And the fact that it's done with the Yu-Gi-Oh! IP was really cool. I do also like that, like, Mystery Beast Circuit's in here. I have always liked Circuit. Definitely a little under-supported, though. Did I miss again? Or did I actually hit? Oof, that guard hurts. Is that who I think it is? That is who I think it is. No. I'm trying to figure out how to rotate the camera. Give me a second. There's a way to do it. I can't remember it offhand. Yes, it is raw in the background. You did see that right. This, I think, is... I can't remember if that's more of a... raw... You can see it doesn't quite fit. You're supposed to use items to summon them. I know I did an action replay at some point, I'm pretty sure. And that's probably why I have some of this unlocked that I probably shouldn't have. At the very least, just... even if you just go through this on like a modified save file, I mean, there's always going to be the argument, you know, go through the game first, right? You know, which I have gone through in the past, and just going back through, my enjoyment of just being able to choose what I want is just infinitely better, and I very much enjoyed it. Just very much enjoyed this. And obviously, you have your weird life point counter button kind of thing, and doesn't quite always make sense. You can actually lose, quote unquote, or mostly lose, and you can still have the ability to like come out ahead. I'm playing Duel Links before I got here. Well, so you understand now why I was like, yeah, you guys definitely have I was giving hints out before what the game was going to be specifically. So we'll command him. We're going to command him here. And like some of the characters, apparently there's some returning characters as well in regards to like the main villain and stuff. Apparently there's like a lot of returning stuff. Lay my trap card face down. Yeah, well, I know I was going through GX recently, right? I was going through Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and there was a situation where like Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames, was out, and that's why it made that relevant. Now, in TCG, OCG, especially when it comes to something like that, it's specifically because you had to make it open knowledge. Like, if you have a card that says add something to the hand, right? Where is Yugi? There we go. I don't know why that fucking didn't do that. Yeah, sometimes the move system's a little weird. I'm also testing the upscaling on this piece of tech that I have. And obviously you'll have certain monsters that are better at running through things. Like they have like bonuses to trekking through places and stuff. So it's actually kind of it's a neat little game. It really is. And I think that it's super under like appreciated. I really do. I think Exodia Blur. I don't think Exodia's in this actually. I don't think Exodia's in this. I think he's actually in a omitted piece. But it's cool seeing familiar faces, familiar monsters, just going through their motions. And apparently Monster Rancher is a game that does it, like, as well. Like, this is apparently just Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster Ranchers. But even if that was the case, I don't know why it's zooming in there. Why is my button... My L button was sticking. Turn off and on the controller. But yeah, if this came out in modern times, I think this could be super cool. And obviously, see, you get your little animations of... I ended up losing some health. And you end up finding... There's a whole story behind this about getting trapped in the virtual world. Kind of not dissimilar to, like, the Noah arc, right? It's super cool. I love it. It's campy. It's really, really great. Ooh, I'm probably dead here, actually. My cards when I was a kid because I could have sold my blue 600. Yeah, no, that's actually me with Dark End Dragon, because I know Dark End Dragon, the synchro. I had the jump synchro at one point, but I don't anymore. So, like, I'm really upset because I definitely didn't take care of some of the stuff I should have and lost a lot of things that I shouldn't have. So that actually made me a little sad, Panda, if you will. We're actually going to try to use an item here. Red medicine. And obviously you can see as they use an action or use a move, right? You can also see that medicine. You can also see that their stars go down, so that leads into stronger tiered monsters have more stars, and then you have more things that you can do before the battle ends. Because say, for example, if all of us had 1 star left, and suddenly we don't have any stars left, the game ends. That match effectively ends. And then a winner or loser, depending on this point system, is decided. I think it might be correlated to damage in some capacity. But, like, it's like a throwaway game, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think anybody thought that this was going to have any amount of success. It could just be a very, like, I haven't checked the IGN reviews or anything like that. I haven't really checked any reviews. I could see this actually having done things, though. React streams I do still do react streams. It should be every Tuesday and Thursday. I needed to take this week off just due to things. So that should be, I'm probably even going to be cutting out Thursday. I might do like Tuesday, Friday, or something like that. Tuesday right now is the general day that I do it. And I've actually ended up holding out on doing react streams right now because I'm in the works with a music licensing thing for a custom deal for a music licensing thing. So I should be able to hopefully work something else, put it that way. And, like, you look at the UI, and, like, the UI does make sense. It takes a little bit getting used to. Like, it kind of almost reminds me a little bit sometimes of, like, Command & Conquer or something, right? A little bit. And you just kind of see it, and you're just like, this is actually a really neat idea. Okay, we should be entering battle now. My favorite character from Yu-Gi-Oh! In series, Jaden and Yusei, because of the personality. Dragon signed by Greg. I mean, that's actually really cool. I was nervous to meet him. Peter Cullen. Yeah, I feel that. God, I'm really enjoying Jaden right now in GX, especially because he does have his Supreme King arc. Like, Supreme King Jaden is just built different, and it's just a whole overarching arc of trauma and coming to the realization of your mistakes. His whole arc is amazing. I'm really enjoying Zane on a GX rewatch right now, Zane Truesdale. Like, if I had to choose my top, like, 3, I'd probably be, like, Seto Kaiba, Zane Truesdale. Well, I have to think about that one. Like, you bring up a very good point. Valkyrian, yes, Valkyrian is massive in this. I also haven't watched Duel Monsters in decades, which I need to do again. Some of these attacks, you'll see they have the same animations, or some monsters do have also the same attacks. It's just a thing. It's the limitations of games at the time. And then you have Slifer in the background. It's just gonna work with wrong people. If you actually see the Egyptian gods in the overworld, they also kind of glitch the overworld out a little bit. I don't think they were really meant to be seen outside of their specific summoning requirement. Live Duel. I have not seen those. I've had people send me those. I have not seen those. And so this actually comes off of, I ended up dropping some money to get my branded up to the place I need to be. Like, I got my Cashier Fenrir's. I got, God, I actually upgraded my Gamma Seals to Secrets. So now I have Secret Gamma Seals. I got Secret and Dear Servants. Ulti, Alibur, Gesture Despia. Then I forgot. Then I actually totally spaced that Cashier Fenrir has ultis, but then again, I don't really use... Like, Cashier's in my Fenrir's in my side deck, let's put it that way. Just because it's strong. And yeah, no, thank you, Squidboy. I really do appreciate that. Yes, everybody, I really do appreciate all of you come out, and remember, you do matter. Just a reminder in case you needed it. So yeah, I picked up Branded recently, and I need to go work over Sky Strike because I'm actually super excited for the new Sky Striker boss monster. Very, very excited for that, actually. But that's a lot of money. So, I mean, I guess getting back on track then to what my favorite character would be. Let's not do that, actually. Yeah, let's not do that. And then we can do that. We already know where they are. We're gonna go send them to our home base. Simple as that, folks. So I'm about to hit his defenses. I think, and there's also timed events. Like sometimes they'll like, if the chapter's primed for it, let's put it that way, you'll be like, oh, we're gonna sabotage this fortress at this time, right? Which is actually one of the prior levels to this, one of the first ones where it does that. And you end up having, you know, someone like sabotage the fortress. And so it's just kind of super cool to like see that, because then it adds a different style of gameplay to that. And also, as you can see, Jewel Monster's gonna hold held items, so in the field, right, I'm able to use medicine to heal them. And then obviously this is now on a cooldown, so that way they can't use it again. Yeah, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Like RPG for GameCube, and it's super niche, and I've never really seen anybody talk about it. So I thought I'd share it tonight. Red Dragon Archfiend structure deck, Maxwell. Jack's an awesome character. Ted lives to me. Yeah, the VAs were amazing. I was kind of mixed on the Red Dragon Archfiend structure deck. I mean, unironically, so the last set that they did, the Red Dragon Archfiend Ghost Rare in, like this most recent wave, I ended up getting one. It's like, damn, didn't really expect to get it, but I mean, I have it. It's one of those things I have now. Kind of like my secret copy of Yubel. I just kind of have it. Don't really know why. But I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see this. And if you haven't, maybe you can go look into either picking it up, or if you have found it in your collection, you can even go play it, because it's got a lot to it. And I think if you're in for a campy Yu-Gi-Oh story, you know, whether it's non-canon as it is, right? I think that you could have a lot of fun with this. Actually, I think that you have a lot of fun with this. And see, now we've taken out the enemy commander, right? And now it's just like, cool. Excellent. And I think that's actually game over for that specific thing. And then you have your post game, which is if you win or lose, it has different things. It's just standard mission structure. We have now recruited Bakura, and then you get gold back. I think cash flow is a little bit of an issue, but I'd have to see what gold grinding methods and guides exist. But I mean, it really is, you are starting from the top left of the map, the Makad section, going all the way to where we just were, and now we're going to the mainland, and then we have to go all the way south, and then later on, if something happens, then you have to retake land. It really does come down to a cool little tactical game. And I just really want to see more people talk about it. Because even in the modern AAA market, I just haven't seen I really haven't seen anything with this much heart in like a hot minute in the AAA market, which is really fucking wild when you consider it. Oh, fuck, I didn't want to do that. There's also a challenge mode, which I'm trying to get to. And see if your pause, which actually pause the entire action of that. Let me try this really quick. We're going to reset that, because there should be a bonus mode. Unless maybe I didn't go through Kaiba's campaign, which maybe I'll go stream the entirety of Kaiba's campaign. Where Yugi and friends conquer a nation. I actually just broke my camera. There's something going on with the software. I don't know what it is. This is a software issue. Or maybe it just lost me so bad. It probably lost me so bad. Oh, gotta quit that again. I gotta go see what software is doing. I gotta go see if there's an update, potentially. Because that's turning out to be a little bit of an annoyance. Because, like, I bought the software. Like, I have full ownership of the software, so it's not like it's like, oh, I'm on trial room or anything like that. Yeah, Duelist of Roses. I've heard good things about it. There should be a bonus mode, but that's not what I'm seeing here, so we'll go with that. We'll keep that going. Camera on, maybe? Yeah, the calibration is super off. Something happened. Something happened in the past, like, day or so. I don't know what it is. But, alas. Let's get into this again. We'll do another match, and then we'll hop over into into phasmophobia, if you will. Okay, so if we have you... Yeah, but see, you have like your blue eyes is... You have a lot of classic monsters here. Leveling them up is kind of a little bit of pain, especially New Game Plus. I noticed going into New Game Plus, if you don't have things leveled up, it becomes quite the pain in the ass. Yeah, you do. Well, there was also a challenge mode. There was like a boss rush mode. I'm trying to remember where that came in, because I don't remember it. And yeah, so you can. We're gonna try to cheese this a little bit. Give me a second. Black metal. Dharma Cannon actually got new support recently. Totally forgot about that. Yeah, Dharma Cannon got new support. Level 1. Where's my metals are level 7? That's weird. Yeah, Valkyrian's 31, that'll be fine. And here's the thing, is that, like, there's definitely things that they could have still improved on as well. Like, this isn't a cohesive, this is everything that they had, and this everything... They could, like, imagine if they added abilities to this, right? Imagine if they added abilities to this. Imagine if they added certain special effects. Imagine how deep they could bring this. They could grab the, you do this rabbit hole. Like, you could have a lot going on in this, which is really super fucking cool. And then you have items you can get, like you can have a polymerization, have them hold a polymerization. That way you can use a polymerization. Audio froze for a second. It could be that I tapped out. Will the stream end early? I mean, we're pretty late. So what I'm gonna do, I'm doing another one of these. That way we have a full episodic thing kind of going. And then we're going to, we hop over into Phaz. I just wanted to, like, take a second and be like, hey, this game exists because this cool as fuck. So, it looks like we have a couple bases here. I think we're going to send... We'll send Bakura here. Bakura. We're going to send you to the southern base. Yugi's going to be the vanguard. That's perfectly fine. And as you can see, this is yellow. This is a neutral territory. City has nothing. You're going to take city. I don't know if any of these actually other things, like how it's like defiant. I'm going to have to go through a deep dive on this, because I could probably do a review on this, actually. I've played enough of it. Do an actual proper video on it. I'll have to see if that actually does anything. We have brought, it has been liberated. We have brought freedom. Yeah, so that's just an outright enemy territory. Let me try to see... Is Tristan here still? Yeah, the gods break the map, if you couldn't tell. I don't even know where to select him, actually. You can also increase the size of your selector. A quality of life feature I really haven't seen on other games. So, like, if you need to... Fucking camera's being weird. Okay, so that allows us to go into the equipment. And we're going to... Do we not have... Oh, there we go. Yeah. And see, it says classic cards, right? And you're able to do certain things with it. Like, you can buy upgrades, so now I can have the ability to heal my party members. Attack enemy teams moving on the ground nearby. By turtle. Catapult turtle has now protected us. We now have artillery installed. It's cool. Avelson's Daily Walk, yeah. Absolutely right. I didn't know he split off from the main group. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting him to. What's the enemy commander like? What's he sitting at? And it's also been a while, so I'm a little clumsy on the controls. Actually, so here's how we're going to handle this. Okay. We're going to actually send him over as soon as we actually get this fight done. And it becomes very, very repetitive really quick. Like, don't get me wrong. It becomes very, this is what you're doing. Like, this is the game. You are seeing, for all intents and purposes, the game where you can equip things to your monsters. So you can have like one of the blue eyes hold polymerization special, you know, when it's your turn, you're able to utilize that polymerization, you know, things like that. It allows for really cool plays like that. And I would love to see a revisit for this. I'd love to see, you know, just Yu-Gi-Oh, right? If Yu-Gi-Oh did it, okay, cool. If another series did this, though, I'd be very interested to see how they would handle this or what they would do to make the game, you know, have a better approach to it. I would absolutely love to see that. The soundtrack also kind of goes hard. Like, it's something that you can listen to for a while. Hot tunes. Got him. And see, now he's ahead of me because it sounds like he's done more damage. I always forget that Curse of Dragon looks like super cool. Because we don't really see Curse. I mean, Curse of Dragon, what? We had a Dragon Master Knight retrain recently, right? But we haven't really gotten more Yeah, we did get Curse of Dragon stuff a couple years ago, right? I think we did. So at this point, I'm kind of just waiting for Curse of Dragon to run out of stars at this point because he has one move left, or one action left, I should say. So thus I'm focusing on the one on the left hand. This Fire Emblem. If they did, this has a lot of potential for a lot of different IPs and brands, which is why I really love it. I just haven't really had a chance to stream it in a hot minute, or really even do it. And I haven't even had a chance to play it in a hot minute. I haven't had my GameCube set up. So I figured it would be a cool thing to kind of come on out, do a little thing to see if anybody actually remembers this. Kind of just do like a one-off, and then we'll see where this goes. Just had the new guy, Curse of Dragon, retrains not that long ago. I thought it was been a year or two at this point. Time also doesn't mean anything to me at this point, because like it feels like since like 2020, it's been like 10 years, and it's not been 10 years since 2020. It's been almost 4. The ogre battle. I'll have to look into that then, because especially if it's on this style of gameplay, I would love to see it. And I know that this does go into it's Monster Rancher, I think, right? Monster Rancher is what this was loosely based off of, from my understanding. So Monster Rancher is another thing that also kind of does this, but this has familiarity with the Yu-Gi-Oh IP, so hence why I have it in my collection to begin with. And maybe some of you, the 5, actually just 5. Yeah, Curse of Dragon's gonna live another day. I don't have enough actions. They're actually pretty fucking tanky. Not like, it's like weirdly tanky. I guess we're technically near the same level, to be fair. I just have overwhelming stat advantage because, you know, 3 blue eyes. Also, we haven't gotten we got the 25th anniversary Dark Magician recently. We haven't had a 25th anniversary Blue Eyes, have we? Like, we haven't had the original art rarity that we just got. I don't think we did at the very least. And so, obviously, if they're beaten in battle, they're kicked out, and they still retain their HP, but it gives them a penalty to try to come back in again. So, just ways of how this game is balanced actually kind of make sense in terms of game balancing, and it's with a familiar IP. Yeah, it's gonna, so it guards. That means I'm already gonna do less damage by default. And I also have I probably have a subpar item set on this as well. It could very well be that I have a subpar item set on, and there could be there could be more efficient ways of doing this. There absolutely could. So, look forward to, I guess, potentially stream content on this, maybe. Or maybe I'll just get like footage on it, maybe do a review on it. Because this is effectively the game. Feels like I'm not doing a super good job at like promoting this game. It has an interesting premise. The gameplay loop is fun enough that you can just keep doing this. You can just keep having fun with this. I'm also apparently the only person streaming this game on the platform right now, which is actually kind of interesting. It's super cool. It could be that Bakura's only level 16 too. That could also do it. Have something to do with it. Also, the Blue Eyes also have names after them too. I always forget that. The Blue Eyes actually have like names in this one. It's like A, B, and D or something like that. We're gonna just try to just win this right now. Because that's a lot of... Oh, fuck, they're flying. I didn't realize that. Because that's a lot, like... Because you trying to get to the mainland, they're sending out an offensive advanced unit, right? They're sending out, like, 5 squads at you, effectively. Like, it is a really big, aggressive push towards you, especially this early in the game. This is, like, the 5th mission of the game. It was 2020, but that wasn't the first wave of Gaia. Oh, was it not? X Curse Fusion and Defo. I really need to catch up on what we have and don't have. I've been looking for older Blue Eyes copies, to be fair, as well. I've really been looking for the original art because, I don't know, the tablet art, I know people like it. It just doesn't do it for me. The one on the skyscraper is cool. Some of the promo arts are cool. I'm very biased towards the original artwork. Defo's 2022. Huh. Interesting. I will definitely need to look into that then. Which then leads into, obviously, we have things like whatever the Pokemon Fire Red ROM hack is, where you play as Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the Pokemon are Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters. That's also a fun one I've been planning on playing, but we're going to go through Radical Red. And as soon as that's done, I might make another Pokemon Monday thing or swap it over to something else. I did get Teal Mask, so that is something I need to get to. Teal Mask is... I want to fix to be put out first, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But I don't know if we're going to get that fix anytime soon. So I'm going to have to play that one by ear. Just because there's an NPC that can break in Teal Mask. You look at it from a design standpoint. It's such a efficient intro into the battle. It really is. Because you have just like, this is your character you're playing in the 3 monsters. This is who they're playing and the 3 monsters they have. A very quick intro. Loads in, and then obviously you're able to make your actions from there as, you know, whatever stats get compared. And like I'm two-shotting them, so it's not awful. The squid has decided to use blue potion. Becky. They're really fast, actually. It's also cool to see some of these animations as well. And like, you have to have a knowledge of like the Yu-Gi-Oh! IP to really like get what some of these are. And even there's also some like interactions that like didn't really quite make sense to me from what I remember. But I mean, I think BLS is in this too. I probably glossed him over. I think Blackluster Soldier's in this, Buster Blader's in this, Red Eyes is in this, obviously. Summon Skull's in this. Like, there's a lot of like OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Roster if you're willing to. If you have a copy and you're wanting to scratch that itch is what I'm trying to say. If you have it, this is right up your alley. I think that you can find something great here. And like things like this off to the side of the map, right? Where you have just this like patch of grass. If you walk through certain grassy areas, if you walk through it at certain times, like specific grassy areas, or even mountains, you can come across the wild monsters, and that's how you really like take them into your team. You beat them, take them into your team. A lot of effort was put into this, and a lot of thought was put into this. And that's kind of why it boggles me, if that makes sense. It's so good for what it is. And the fact that, like, I would absolutely play this over certain modern AAA games should be boggling to people. There we go. And then you can set up chains like this, where you're just going to have your favorite characters, and you're just going to spam specials, or you're going to find a way to, you know, fuse your Blue Eyes, and then have your Blue Eyes Ultimate, or maybe not even have your Blue Eyes Ultimate out to begin with in general. Use your Egyptian God, which is like, I think it's like once per battle, something like that. Maybe once per, I can't remember what the stipulations are. It's been way too long since I actively played it. And it looks like on Twitch it does count as an RTS. So I mean, this is your RTS, people that have been wanting Kip to play an RTS for a number of times. Also on the top right, you have a time limit. very, very generous time limit, but if you leave this running overnight and you fall asleep, I mean, you can start running into issues. That also actually does lead into, you can do this as a grinding method if you have enough funding to keep you healed up, right? You can just run the clock out and continue to have things spawn, because things will people will respawn after a little while, and then they'll go to wherever they need to be. And doing that, you're able to kind of grind for EXP a little and gold a little bit even. You just have to make sure you're staying healed up. Yeah, you could absolutely do some grinding methods in this. Things that you just figure out about older games. And that's the thing, is when you do something like this, when you play something like this, how can this apply to modern game design? What did this do that people can watch and play it and find things about it that are interesting in 2023, right? What did this game do better than other games? What did this game do worse than other games? What did this game do that was interesting as a premise? It brought the world of Duel Monsters to life in a different way than had been seen in games, right? It helps complement, going to the card shop, going to an LGS, and kind of scratches that itch. It's that RTS nature of it. It really kind of is this molding pot of interesting concepts melded into one. And then obviously, so we're at the last of their advancement force, while I am about to make contact with their HQ. But yeah, if you sit outside, like if I were to sit outside their HQ, after a while, they would start spawning from their HQ. So it is, all intents and purposes, reach their base first. I think they're about to reach mine, my midpoint. Yep, there it is. I was off by like a second longer, and I would have made it before that. But it's whatever. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to be able to beat them. I wonder if it'd be possible to make something like this in like 2023 and like use modern Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. So like, for example, you could use like Alibur, Jester of Despia, right? You could use something like that. Or you could use Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or something like that. Red Eyes Darkness Flare Metal Dragon, and just have a really cool game for all intents and purposes. I think that'd be a really neat game. Duel Links is the reason it's my character, and Duel Links the old Duel Links count after old from when charged. Return my cards. Yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry about that. Losing an account like that, especially spending so much time with it, is rough. Well, and hopefully you're still having fun with the game as well. Kind of another special. Not even just burn it. Or like DPE, right? Get some elemental heroes up in here. That'd be really cool. Elemental heroes are also that. They are that one archetype. Heroes in general are the one archetype, or I guess overarching archetype, that continue to get support, but are severely underplayed and undersupported. It's wild how undersupported elemental heroes are. Well, or sorry, I should say oversupported, but undersupported in actually having relevant cards, if that makes sense. I mean, this is also coming from someone whose favorite is evil heroes. And I do like that we have Malicious Bane, but Malicious Bane definitely has its weaknesses. The deck also has its weaknesses. Can you imagine if a Dusted Gold was in, like, Kashtira, right? If a Dusted Gold did something for, like, Kashtira, it's like, yeah, we're just going to pitch it. How insane in any, like, relevant archetype a Dusted Gold would be just absolutely cracked. Stratos is a little more fair because you have to waste your normal summon, like, yeah. Yeah, Hero... Welcome to my TED Talk on heroes and how they're they really are just not supported in certain aspects. They're over-supported by just sheer volume of cards, don't get me wrong. They are absolutely under-supported by the quality of support that they get. They've always kind of been rogue, right? I mean, right now they sit at rogue, especially with, like, Ferris and stuff. I am missing way too much tonight. Or, like, what was the other one I was looking at? I think, like, didn't, like, Subterrors get a card that, like, in a vacuum was, like, if you looked at this, like, in any other archetype, this would absolutely be on the ban list. It's why... It really is cool to see from a design standpoint what is getting what support gets what. Dragon's got some neat animations. Oh, absolutely, 100%. There is so much potential for a game like this in, like, 2023. You could unfortunately, you could really monetize the hell out of this, right? You could have a battle pass for this, depending on the gameplay loop you have, not necessarily from a story perspective, right? But from the perspective of, like, say that you had to do PvE challenges, maybe you had, like, overworld missions, and you could do certain things in the overworld missions. You have a battle pass for a sheer amount of time played. Like, there could actually be a, like, reasonable live service model with this, which is kind of weird to think about. But there really could be a really valid live service model with this, which could, you know, obviously generate interest for investors. So, things to think about. All that fun stuff. We absolutely just clobbered them. But that was fun. That was a fun showcase of a game that I guarantee a lot of you have never seen. And I'm curious on your thoughts on it. Do you think that it does a lot of things really cool in terms of design? Do you think that it's a little dated? Do you think that with the right dev team and TLC, something like this outside of the Yu-Gi-Oh IP could do some neat stuff? Do you think that Yu-Gi-Oh carried this as an IP? I'm really curious what you think of this, and this really wouldn't be that hard to develop, in my opinion. Interpretation of this game is I've never played Duelist of Roses. I'd have to actually go and play it. I didn't know it was similar enough to this. But that is what I have for you on this gem of a game, if you will. It is an game of all time, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So probably not gonna be the most successful, but that's fine. That is what I got. I'll leave you with what are your thoughts in the comment section, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.